Why do less talented players get recruited while more talented players get overlooked? Why do some kids with average skill get D1 offers, while the hoopers can really play end up at JUCO or really not going anywhere? Here's the reality. You can have the skills, you can have the mental game locked in, and you can still get passed over and looked over by others. Not because you're not good enough, but because you didn't understand the business. So welcome to Dreamers Blueprint. I'm a failed player turned trainer here to give you the lessons that I wish I had when I was younger. So we covered game one, which broke down the skills and the performance and how you take care of your body. Game two, all about the mental game. Now, today we're breaking down game three, the business of basketball. It's the AAU, the exposure, the recruiting, the politics, the character, the network. This is the game that nobody teaches you, and it's the reason why talented players end up on the sidelines and while less talented players get different opportunities that are missed on. So I didn't understand the game and it ended up costing me. So let me break it down to you so it doesn't cost you opportunities too. I never really played AAU. And when you're not playing school, but like I wasn't for a while, AAU isn't an option, something that you think about doing. It's essential. You really have to do it. But I didn't know that. I thought if I just worked on my game in the gym and if I just got better on my own, that'd be good enough. And maybe I found a way back to fight back on my school team and then the college coaches would somehow find me. That's not how it works, man. While I was training by myself, other players were getting better. They were playing in showcases in different tournaments. They would get in front of college coaches. They were competing against better competition, and they were pushing themselves to get to that next level. And I was stuck in my little bubble, training in an empty gym, no coaches, no exposure, and cool development, but not developing against other competition. There was no real path forward to get to where I want to get to. I wasn't even in the game that I'm talking about now. So by the time I understood that AAU was such a key piece that I was missing, especially since I wasn't playing for the school, I was already behind. The recruiting windows were closed and the development I needed has already passed me by. That's when I learned that talent isn't enough. You have to understand the game on and off the court. So let me break down to you what I didn't know so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. So you're probably hearing a lot about building your brand from different social media people talking about NIL and everything. You got to post on social media, get followers, get highlight reels, pick the perfect AAU team, know every coach by name. And yeah, some of that matters. That's what you got to do. But here's the thing that matters even more than that. Be so good that they can't ignore you. So good means two things. First is your skills and your game. Your game you have to actually be a really good, really talented player. But then second good is your character. Be a good human being, be a good person. So the real truth is if you check off all the social media boxes, you try out for all the AAU teams, you play for the top tier ones. But if you're a sorry player with a terrible attitude, it doesn't matter how many different social media tricks and how many followers you have, you're going to struggle to find a good coach to really want you. Your brand is built on what you can do and who you are, not how many followers you have. And I'm not saying social media doesn't matter. I'm not saying that you can't do that game, play that game. But if you do it right, it'll help. Especially with getting these NIL deals and getting noticed for that reason. So if you're going to play the game on social media, a few things that you do want to post is, of course, your workouts and training sessions. Show that you're putting in work, show that you're training and putting in the reps when nobody's watching. Post your highlights and post clips from the game. But keep it real. Just show like the winning plays. Don't just show your stats to kind of show the end result. Like show the process to get there a little bit. So, and feel free to show your family and your personality. Let people see a little bit of who you are off the court. Because coaches recruit people and human beings, not just players. And if you really want to play this game, you gotta know what not to do. So these are things you need to avoid. So just forget about any idea of talking about coaches or talking bad about your teammates. Like don't get on there complaining and calling people out or being in drama. That's a really big red flag for a lot of coaches. But don't show the partying and doing anything inappropriate because coaches and recruiters are watching. Don't give them a reason to pass you up and skip over you and go to the next girl or the next guy. Like I said, don't get into too much drama and don't post too much personal stuff. Some things need to be private. You don't need to treat social media like your diary or your journal. That stuff will hit you long term and mess you up for the bigger picture. So if you want to be real, man, social media can help you get a scholarship or it can lose you one. Social media is a reflection of your character and your character is everything. It's like your true personal brand. It's like your business card. And here's something else about the business. Most coaches won't get to see you in person first. They're going to see you on video. So you need good film, not just any old film, but pretty good quality stuff. Not quality just in terms of like 4K or 1080p, but quality in terms of what they're seeing. So what coaches want to see is the full game and not just the highlights. Multiple games show that you're consistent in doing what you say you can do. So if you're a shooter, I want to see you in multiple games for straight just put up these numbers and show this skill and have good angles. Make sure that it's good angles so you can actually see the game and see everything. And make sure you're making winning plays. Not just scoring, but show that you know how to play basketball in totality. And if you don't know how to get it, ask somebody to film the games, man. You can buy a extra phone, just use for recording, or use a phone that you already have and just record stuff on there. Buy an iPad or, a camera. Don't have to be the craziest thing, but just find something that you can get your recording with. If you're real fancy, get a videographer. I'm not saying do or don't do it, but if you want to get real fancy with it, that's the route you can go. Make sure that you're uploading it to Huddle YouTube, just something very quick and simple and easy for coaches to look at it and view it. Don't make them go too many hurdles to try to get to it. Make it as simple as easy as possible for them to look at your stuff because you want to get recruited. And when you're emailing and DMing coaches, probably the best route to go ahead and link that stuff to them so they can see it. Post some of your clips on social media. Remember, that's kind of like the bait to get the coaches in, but the full game matters more. I'm telling you guys, they watch full games. I want to see that it's not just fool's gold. And when they do come see, it's like they want to see the full game. They want to see how you handle adversity, your mindset, how you deal with stuff, how you play defense, how you move with and without the ball. They want to see your full game. So if you don't have film, you're basically asking to be invisible to different colleges. So get the film. The film is like your business card for your game, and it speaks before you can open your mouth. So social media and film go together, and it shows like the player I'm getting and the person I'm getting coming together. But character is really important. I benefited so much from being as good of a character I could be. So let me tell you how this worked for me. I got connected through a college to do some work with them for business or work opportunity. But that connection happened because of someone I knew personally. They knew that I was a trainer and doing what I wanted to do. And I built it to a decent, point at that point, just showing who I was. Once the connection was made, got the coach to see me and talk to me. He's like, okay, cool, solid. But then got the opportunity to actually perform and do the work. And it's like, oh, okay, we rock with him. I'm locked in. But here's the key piece I want you to get away from this. My skills kind of got me noticed. The connection I had got me noticed, but my character kept me there. I'm not the best, not the greatest at any of this, but my character kept me there. That connection helped me last through multiple coaching changes and different staffs and different people being in charge. Why? Because they could trust me from the connection that I built. So it doesn't matter how good or great of a coach I am or a trainer. If they can't trust me and they have to keep an eye on me the whole time, it really hurts. So I see my role in every position that I get of making their job easier. And that mindset has kept me in a good space and good standing with a lot of different people. So the skills open the door, but the character kept me in that door. So think about yourself. Do you make your parents' life easier or harder? Is your coach have to worry about your grades or your attitude, you getting in trouble? And I'm not saying you have to be perfect. I'm not saying you have to shoulder this burden of feeling like you don't want to be a problem. But instead of doing this big and fancy grand gestures and this crazy acts, if you can just simply figure out how to make their lives a little bit easier, that'll make their job a lot better and they can trust you more and your character's being built. And that's how you earn your coach's trust off of the court. So show up on time, do what you're supposed to do, try to help without being asked, and be someone that the coach and the people can count on. So it's cool that you just earn trust off the court. You got that covered now. If you want to earn trust on the court, you have to have your skills up and be able to perform. Like I mentioned back in episode 2, there are 4 different ways to earn your coach's trust on the court. And these can blend together, but this is pretty much how they work. So first, your game matches your coach's game. Your style of play fits their system pretty perfectly. So this is what it looks like. So say you want to you go into the NBA, you want to play for Steve Kerr and then Golden State Warriors. You have to have high IQ. You have to play well without the ball and be able to defend. If you want to play for Mark Dagnott, pretty sure that's how you pronounce it, OKC, you have to love defense and be physical. Like, they're a very high level defense and very physical team. If you can't do that, it's hard for you to fit in with them. So, ladies, you want to play with Don State at South Carolina, you got to embrace being disciplined. You got to embrace being coach tough and the tough love. And you have to be physical. So, at the younger levels, Coaches should be able to adapt to the kids in front of them, but it helps knowing that your game matches what the coaches value, and it makes everybody's life easier. So as a coach, if I already have a team full of players that match me and what I want to do, that's great. And as a player, if you match with the coaches who have what they want to do, we syncing up a lot better. So if you naturally fit what your coaches want, you're pretty much in there. But what if you don't match your coach's style perfectly? What if your coach loves the up and down play and the fast-paced offense with full court pressing, but you're a little bit slower and less athletic? Then you have to build a superpower that's so great that they can't not play you. So if you're slower, but you're a great shooter, you're crafty and you're smart, your coach is going to find space for you. So if you're one of the best shooters on the team, let's say about top 3, that coach is going to find time and find a space for you and end up crafting that defense around you if it needs to. So think about Jokic. Nikola Jokic, 3-time MVP. He wasn't the fastest and most athletic, but he was so smart, so crafty, and so skilled, he found a way into that roster and found a way to play, found a way to start, avoid getting traded, end up being a champion and MVP. Steph Curry wasn't known as being the greatest defender. He was getting drafted out of Davidson. People question if he could last physically, but his shooting was so great at this point and so undeniable. He went on to be a top 10 player all time, arguably top 5, and greatest shooter, rest is history. Lou Dort, not the greatest offensive player, but he's such a great defender and plays such a valuable and important role for OKC. Like if he was about 15 years earlier, he would be perfect. Like the 3-and-D wing, the NBA doesn't relish on those as much now. They aren't built, like the model of it isn't built the same anymore in today's game. But he's still one of the best defensive wings in the league, and he's so great at it, he can't be ignored. So the overall lesson I want you to take from this is to find that one key thing to be so elite at and make yourself so undeniable in there that you can't be ignored. Still build out your overall game, but figure out the 1 or 2 things that your superpower that's so great you can't be ignored. Think about the hustle, the dirty work, the extra passes, not turn over the ball, the defense that doesn't show up on the stat sheet as much. Lou Dort has all that stuff too. His defense creates value beyond the numbers. Like somebody like a Draymond Green is probably my favorite example for this. People give him grief for his stat line, and I give him some for him not having had developed his offensive game as much, especially at this point. But his value isn't just in the stats. His IQ, his ability to blow up the offenses and read it and see the plays before they happen, that doesn't show up in the box score, and it's not the sexy thing you see on highlights all the time. But it's invaluable for the coach. It's so valuable and so impactful that coaches would love to have him because it leads to wins, which is the most important thing in the game of basketball. Ronald's another one. Like, he wasn't the greatest shooter in the game, but his IQ, his ability to control the game doesn't always show up directly as points. Kind of summarizes up, like, you really want to be a high impact player whose value doesn't always show up in his stats. Like, you're not going to always be the best player, and you might not have this one super great skill, this one great thing, but if you can add enough of these intangibles that are high impact and high value but doesn't show up in stats, the coach is going to love you. Like, if you're a great rebounder, that means you get great possessions. Yes, they show up in a rebounder and it shows up as possession, but like the thought of being a great rebounder, teams got to box you out and double team you. And so by you being double teamed in the post on rebounding, that means somebody else can be open and get that opportunity. It doesn't show up in the stats. It's a valuable thing to have. If you don't turn the ball over, that gives your team an extra possession and a chance to score, making an extra pass, diving for loose balls, setting screens, communicating defense. These are all winning plays that you need to make. Doesn't matter the style of play that your coach have. If you figure out how to make winning plays and high impact plays, coaches will let you cook and they'll figure out how to play you and build around you more. And this last piece is very critical. It's one thing to be able to do this stuff. It's another thing to be consistent. Most coaches will take the player who gets a consistent 6 to 10 points with consistent energy over the player who go off for like a good 16 points and bring energy about once a month. So on average, you're probably playing 8 to about 10, maybe 12 games a month. So if you're only bringing high energy and those type of points once every month, it's tough. You feel me? Like, your consistency will determine your level. So think about the averages, right? LeBron is great because he averages about 28, 7 and 7, or 28, 8 and 8. But not just once in a while, but probably about 80% of the games. You'll see that stat line something very close to it. Somebody like Ben Simmons or Lamar Odom, they can do it too. They can put up 28, 8 and 8. but it's not going to be the same frequency as LeBron. Probably about 50, 60% of the games, you can see that stat line. Curry and Westbrook, they play every game, all-out effort. Doesn't matter if it's game 15 on a Tuesday against Washington, or if it's game 5 in the NBA Finals. Shooting 1 for 15, they're shooting 28 for 30. The same effort goes into every single game. So here's the key. It's not just about the output and your stats. It's the effort and the work behind it too. The piece that gets them that output is that they train consistently. They got consistent input. The coaches see their work. They see that the work is translating from training to practice and the work from practice to games. And then they do it at a very high level. So you have to put the work in. And coaches can tell if you do or don't put that work in. If you do the work consistently, that means you get consistent results. So to kind of wrap up, if you want to gain your coach's trust, be so great they can't ignore you. Be of great character and be of great skill. Match their playing style, perform at such a high level, and have such a great impact on the game that they see you as too valuable that they can't keep you on the bench. That's how you really earn your coach's trust. And so now I'd be lying to you if I said that's all it takes. You can do everything right and still end up not playing. There are college players who could really hoop. They could really play. They end up riding the bench. And sometimes it's one of those clashes that I mentioned. It's one of those 4 things that I mentioned. Your style doesn't match the coach. Sometimes the coach just doesn't mess with you. Something about you they just don't fully connect with. I've heard crazy stories. But then sometimes there are forces outside the game that impacts what goes on in the game. At the college level, it could be a booster, an AD, or a president. Just be like, man, I want to see this player over here playing a little bit more and get a little bit more shine. They use that power over the coach, and that coach wants to keep their job, so they end up bending a little bit. And at the youth level, like school ball, somebody's mom or dad could be a teacher or a principal that has some type of connection, and they have an influence over the team. On the AAU travel ball side, a dad or some type of company can sponsor the team and they fund the team, so they have influence over who plays. Maybe a coach has a player with some hype and a big social media following, and the coach is trying to attract sponsors by playing that kid more. I'm not saying it's fair. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it's real. It's the truth. This is the part that makes AAU and travel ball so tricky. So how do you still win and succeed in your career when the odds are stacked against you like this? We kind of have to understand the team that you're joining. This is the piece that a lot of players get wrong, and me personally, I got it wrong. So there are 2 different types of AAU teams. So you have like true AAU teams that are really about exposure. These are the teams that are going to get you in front of college coaches and the scouts that can recruit you to play. So this pretty much means that if you're signed up to play with party teams, you're probably not going to get as much time to practice and work on your skills. It's going to be a lot more showcases and tournaments and less skill development. You're going to get a high level competition to really push you. Like you're talking about the top tier hoopers for real, playing at that level. And you're probably going to get pigeonholed into a role a lot sooner, and you don't get the same opportunities to develop and show different parts of the game. So for example, for your school ball team, you can play point forward. You're allowed to push the ball and really play your game that you want to do more. But on your AAU team, you're being limited to being more traditional big man or woman. You rebound, you block shots, you set screens. That's your role. That's it. So if you're a player who's closer to being college ready and your game's pretty sharp already and you need to be seen, you need exposure, go ahead and try out for one of those higher level AAU teams. But then you have your development teams, your travel ball teams. These are the teams that practice more than they play, and the coaches care more about the development and the process of getting players better than really trying to win and get all the exposure. I'm not saying that you should lose, but the cost of losing isn't as heavy because the focus is really on getting better. So that means you might not play the most talented players. You won't travel as much and go as far. That can be a great opportunity to really develop and work your game. You get the chance to know your role, but there's a good chance you can expand and experiment with new skills and new roles, opportunities on the court. And like you get more freedom and more range to try to do things to get better overall for your game. So let's say like for your school ball team, you're just a shooter because you got a pretty talented team, pretty stacked team. So you're just a shooter for them. But then you go to your travel ball team, you're gonna play a little more PG, play some more point guard, get the be the ball handler, be the playmaker like that. But you develop these skills more and work on these things, but that you wouldn't get the same chance to do for your school ball team. And most players really need the development side. Most players need to focus on getting the exposure and playing against different and better competition, not the exposure trying to get recruited. So I broke down for you the type of teams that you need, but how do you find the right team? Not that hard. So first, you can just simply ask your high school, middle school coach. More than likely, know a lot of different AAU programs. They might even have their own one, and they can connect you to it. And just simply Google the different teams, AAU teams near me, in your city, type it in social media. Like, it's not that hard. Check out the team, check out what they're about, what they've been about, find it out. Go to the tryouts and just see what they do. A lot of them end up having open tryouts. Show up and do your thing if you're going to go. Ask other players, whether it's older players that are higher up on the team. So if you're a freshman, ask seniors or whatever. Ask whoever you're just around, man. Ask your teammates. Just get the idea, see what the team are about, see what the coach is about. That way you kind of test around. And then just get a good and clear idea of what the team's about and what you're getting into. Understand this more development or an exposure team, because depending on which team you need, that's the team you need to be searching for. It's different things you can ask them, like how much do you guys practice and how do you play? What's the cost? Like, get an idea of what the coach is about. Like, is the coach really about development, or are they about trying to get them to play? Understanding all these things help you out too, because some teams can be a travel ball team, but they can't really train you well. They're not good at developing. They just want to get you opportunity to play and hoop, which is cool. Know what you're getting into. But here's the thing what players really mess up with. Waste a lot of time and money trying to get to one of those elite AAU teams for the exposure when you're not ready for it. You end up not playing, you're not even practicing, you're not getting better because they don't practice that much, and you're not having fun. You're locked into a very limited role, you're not developing. You're just kind of there, as part of the team, riding the bench, spending all this money, going nowhere fast. So you gotta be real with yourself. Which team do you actually need right now? If you're not starting for your high school team, you probably need more development. If your skills aren't that sharp yet, you probably need more development. If you want to expand your game and try new roles, probably need more development. But if you're ready to be recruited, your game feels pretty polished, then you probably need the exposure now. Get better first, get seen second. Don't skip the steps. Don't waste your time and money trying to get exposure when you're ready to be chasing development for your game. Here's the real truth about exposure. Both AAU teams and here's the real truth about exposure. Both AAU teams and travel ball teams will expose you, but in different ways. One will shine light on your game and show how good you are. The other will expose your development and show how much you can and have grown. But if you play the game wrong, and let your pride get in the way, you'll get exposed for the level that you're really at. So understand what game you're in and then play it smart. So to get an idea of the timelines of what recruiting happens and what happens in different grades and ages. So a lot of the higher level D1 schools, the coaches really start watching players early, about 7th or 8th grade year. But if you're elite, the top tier ones. But on average, I'll say somewhere about 9th or 10th grade, this is probably when you're really starting to get real exposure to a lot of the average colleges. So if you're a sophomore thinking, I'll worry about recruiting later, you're already too late and you're already behind. So here's about the timeline to look at. So freshman, sophomore year and earlier, really lock in on development. You have time. Get your skills sharp, rebuild your body. Go back to listen to episodes before, talk about how to build your body and build your mind. Start playing with higher level competition. And if you're ready, go and hop on one of those AAU teams that fits your needs to develop and grow your game. So if you're a junior year, this is your main go-to exposure window. You get all the showcases, the camps, and the tournaments where coaches will be watching, college coaches will be watching. If you're not on the radar by about the end of your junior year, D1 get real spooky. You feel me? If we're being real and you don't have a D1 offer by then, you're probably not a D1 athlete. So by senior year, it's probably too late for a lot of D1 schools to start recruiting you. At this point, you're looking at D2, D3, NAIA, JUCO. And I'm not saying this to stress you out. I'm just saying this so you don't waste your time. So if you're a freshman or sophomore reading this, you have time, but you need to start thinking about it right now. Get on the teams, start getting your film, build a relationship with coaches, and understand the timeline. Don't wait until your senior year and wonder why no one's calling you or DMing you, hitting you up, or emailing you trying to get you to come to their school. This business has a clock. Now you need to know where you're at on it. And if you're already feeling behind, maybe listen to this and you're thinking, it's too late for me. I'm a junior or a senior, and I ain't do any of this. It's over for me. I'm done. I'm cooked, Jack. It's not over for you. Relax. You have a few more options you can really do. First, look into JUCO. This is a legit path. A lot of D1 and D2 players start at JUCO, get your 2 years, you develop, you compete, get the scene, get your exposure, and you transfer up. Don't sleep on this option. I was a knucklehead that didn't care nothing about JUCO, didn't think it was special, and it cost me. Don't be one of the people that overlook JUCO. You can go to prep school. You can go to prep school. Look at taking a post-grad year. This is an extra year out of high school to develop your game even more and get recruited. And some players need that extra time. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not as familiar with this. It sounds like anybody need to have, but just an option to get out there just in case. I want to put this out there for you to think about and just consider to help you out. Once again, if you don't have D1 as an offer, don't look on D2, D3, NAIA. It's great schools with great coaches and great programs with great competition. Don't overlook them because they're not D1. You can still get great education and still play high-level ball if you never touch D1. It's okay. D1 or bust is the mentality that can mess you up and have you not playing ball at all. But last but not least, walk on. If you're already out of college and you feel like you're good enough to try to walk onto the team, it's a long shot. Not saying it won't happen, but it happens. You feel me? Have the times where people will do it, but you have to be willing to work and to prove yourself because you're starting from the bottom of the totem pole, going against scholarship girls, playing at a high level, and been doing this. So be willing to work and to prove that you belong and deserve that spot. Overall, the point is, I don't want you to give up. Like, just because you didn't follow the perfect path, the most ideal traditional path, doesn't mean that you still can't play college ball. But you have to be real with yourself. As a senior and you haven't been recruited yet, you're probably not going D1, and that's cool. Not the end of the world, but there are other paths. Find a path that fits you and where you actually are, not where you wish you were, or this girl is there, so I want to be over here. This guy over there, so I should be there. Forget about that. There's still time. You just have to be smart about it and be willing to put in the work. So there it is, man. The 3 games of basketball that I didn't understand. So game 1, skill and body. That's the foundation of every play you need to understand. Then it's the mental game. The piece that you use within game 2 is a mental game. The piece that lets you use those skills. The mindset isn't right. It's like a door that's locked behind having the skills in the body. But if you open up the mindset skill, you can actually tap in to use those physical skills a lot more and a lot better. And then in game 3 is the business. The piece that gets you seeing the exposure to all this work that you've been doing. And I failed because I really halfway focused on one of them. I thought if I just worked on my game, everything else fall into place and I'd be good. And it doesn't work like that. You need all 3 games. Skills without the mental game, you crack with under pressure. And the skills in the mental game without the business, you get overlooked, you don't get recruited the same. But if you master all 3 games, you give yourself the best chance, the best opportunity of really making it. So the challenge for you this week, figure out which type of team that you need right now. Do you need more development? Do you need more exposure? Do you need more practice and skill building and that level of competition? Or do you need more showcases and camps and recruiting events? Then get the college coaches seeing you right now. To be honest with you, more than likely, you need development first. I'm not saying it because I'm a trainer. I'm saying it because I'm a trainer that understands the key and importance of development. The second piece of the challenge is to make sure that you move this week to build your character off the court. So figure out how you can help your coach without being asked. Show appreciation and love to a teammate. Show up early, stay late, put in the extra work. Do something that shows that you're not just about yourself and you're being selfish. Think bigger picture and more grander than just you. Ask yourself, am I making my coach's life easier, my parents' life easier, my teammates' life easier, or am I making it harder? The business of basketball isn't just about AAU recruiting. It's about how people perceive you and your character. Your perception creates opportunities around you and for you. So that's it. That's the blueprint, man. That's game 1, game 2, game 3. Now it's on you to go build it. But subscribe, follow along. Let's keep building together. It's your dream blueprint. Let's get it.